Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill CDJR on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Time to make this the season of Ram at the all-new Thornhill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit them at the Fountain Place Mall in Logan, or visit or online at thornhillcdjr.com. We do the show from the Parmar Store studio. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. Phone calls to the show with service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Visit bestmastertailor.com. Loaded up this morning. Coming up a little bit later on the show, Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr is going to be stopping by. We know the special session has been called by the governor for September 30th. Legislative interims wrapping up earlier this week in Parkersburg. We're going to get to the Finance Chair's take on both of those, plus more about the tax situation. And we're talking with the senator the other day. He said, you want to spend some time talking about guns. So I said, hey, we can get into that. I got some more fallout from the Harris-Trump debate from the other night to get to. I'll try to get to some of the texts I didn't get to on yesterday's show, time permitting. And also, hopefully, another time permitting thing, or if the schedule works out, we're going to introduce you to the newest member of the MetroNews team working out of our studios here in Charleston. Her name is Morgan Pemberton. And, well, she's working. She's off on assignment right now, but if she makes it back into the building, we're going to introduce you to her. Rib Fest opens up today at Haddad Riverfront Park. So obviously we have a lot to get to. There are a couple of news items I do need to mention before we get to our first guest. And there are now, and you just heard Chris's news report at the top of the hour, at least 2 deaths being reported in Charleston. One early this morning outside the Rourke Sullivan Lifeway Men's Shelter around 4:30 this morning. That story is still developing. Also, there was a shooting just before 9 in the 700 block of Regency Drive. Little details being released on either situation at this point, as one would suspect, because it is an ongoing investigation. We will cover it on air and online throughout the day as details are available. Also, the situation with the school threats happening in Kanawha County, Putnam County, all over the state and all over the nation. I don't know what the answer is. My social media feed, like yours, are probably filled. People saying in many cases in some other counties not sending their kids to school until it all gets straightened out. Don't know if that's the best plan either, but again, I don't have kids. So I did make contact, though, with the Director of Homeland Security in the state, Rob Cunningham, earlier this morning. Rob is going to be on with us on the show one day next week to discuss that. So lots going on in the news, but I want to take time to talk about a special event coming up in less than 2 weeks at the Coliseum Convention Center. It's called the Chef's Challenge, and it's a fundraiser for Covenant House of Charleston. Briana, or Bree Martin, and Tracy Chapman with Covenant House joining us right now. Good morning. Bree, we'll start with you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave, and thank you. Thank you for having us this morning.
Well, thank you for being here. And Tracy is with us as well. And Tracy Chapman is the new director of the program. Is that right?
Yes, I'm the program director.
And this is your first event that you're putting on.
This is going to be my first event. I'm super excited.
So tell us, Bree, I'll go to you. What exactly is Chef's Challenge? What is this thing?
So Chef Challenge, much like you said, Dave, is our annual fundraiser for Covenant House. Food, housing, and healthcare. That's what we specialize in. But we operate a food pantry out of the Covenant House. And this is our 14th annual Chef's Challenge. And what it is pretty much is it's a nice sit-down dining style dinner that what we like to call local celebrity chefs get together and they develop a 5-course menu It consists of past hors d'oeuvres and any type of dining item or course for the evening. And then we wrap it up with some very nice desserts from two of our wonderful pastry chefs in the area, Chef Morgan Morrison from Rock City and Chef Terry Blevins from Little Bit of Heaven Cupcakes.
And this is happening when and where?
September 24th at the Charleston Convention Center. Doors will open at 5:30. Dinner will begin at 6.
Okay. And who are some of these celebrity chefs we have?
So we will have one of the people, or the group of people that I always like to talk about and mention, is the culinary students from Carver.
Yeah, they do fantastic work up there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They really do.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Chef Mandy will bring her set of students this year. We'll have Chef Dennis coming to us from Sleepy Hollow. We'll have Chef Evan from Ichiban. We'll also have Chef Betty from Embassy Suites. Then we'll bring in Chef Keith Jackson from Black Sheep Burrito. We will have, of course, the infamous James Beard Award winner.
Infamous.
Chef Paul Smith. And Chef Todd will be joining us from the Convention Center this year. And then, again, we'll wrap things up with our two pastry chefs.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot of great food, and that is always of interest to me, and for a great cause.
This menu is amazing.
Can you give us a little sneak preview? I mean, I know you got a variety of different foods that are going to be there, and I know you got the pastries. Don't want to give away too much, but can you tell us?
Absolutely. So this year, we're exploring somewhat of an Italian theme. So we are taking a tour of
All right, listen,
Italy.
Tony the Tailor, if you're listening, sponsor of my text line. He listens to the show every day. Peranzino, this is for you. So go ahead.
That's right. So our culinary students, they will, one of their courses will be a tomato peach bruschetta. They'll also do a cheesy prosciutto straw. And then Chef Evan from Ichiban, he will be bringing us a sausage ricotta stuffed mushroom with red pesto. And Chef Dennis from Sleepy Hollow will be doing a really fancy caprese salad. And then Chef Todd, he will do the main entree course, which is a chicken marsala. And then Chef Paul will be bringing the vegetarian marsala with Hernshaw Farms mushroom and tofu. So it will be a delightful cuisine, I am certain. We'll also have some of our desserts. Chef Terry will be bringing a mini limoncello tiramisu. She's got 2 desserts. And then Chef Morgan has 3. One of them that I'm very interested to see and taste will be the Italian butter brickle. I'm very excited about it.
You had me a butter brickle. I believe it or not, I am not I love food of all kinds. My listeners know that. I'm not a necessarily big sweets eater. I prefer the meat and the cheese and the potatoes. But I'll tell you, butter brickle, you had me.
Well, and the meat and the cheese,
I can throw down on some butter brickle.
We will have that because Chef Betty from Embassy will be putting together an antipasti platter. So there will be meat and cheese all over the place.
You know, perhaps we should have had them do up some samples for us because I can eat this kind of stuff. Right, look, Ryan's banging his head against the glass in the production studio in there right now. It all sounds great. So where does the money go?
So the proceeds from this event benefit Covenant House. It's non-discretionary funding. Most of what we operate is grant funding, and those grants come with specific criteria. And if a person who comes for assistance does not meet that criteria, unfortunately, we're not able to help in many cases. And so the proceeds that come from this event allow us to fill that void and be able to help someone who may not qualify otherwise. And of course, we always have an honorary chair for the event. And so we will be honoring Judge Joanna Tabbitt this year as our honorary chair. And then, of course, Chef Paul, he is our spokesperson for Chef Challenge this year.
That's awesome. It's good stuff. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. At this point, are you in need of any sponsorships? Or if people are listening right now and they can't make it to the event, they would like to contribute, how do they get in touch with you, and how can they help out?
Great question, Dave. Thank you so much. What they can do is a couple of different ways. You can go right to our Facebook page and secure a ticket, or contact Angela Douglas, who is our Director of Operations, and she can set up any type of sponsorship. She can email an application. It can be sent straight in. You can also buy tickets via, of course, Covenant House's website. And on top of that, if you need to stop by the building, you're more than welcome. And we are located at 600 Shrewsbury Street right here in the heart of Charleston.
All right, let's get the details, the date, the times, whatnot again. Go
Absolutely.
ahead.
September 24th, doors will open at 5:30. Dinner begins at 6. We will be partying right at the Charleston Convention Center.
All right, sounds good. Bree and Tracy, I appreciate you being here, and Tracy's the newcomer. So this is this is a big event to be your first big event.
It is. I'm
excited about. What's your
excited.
background? Tell us about you.
I actually left the Supreme Court of West Virginia, and prior to that, the Kanawha County Schools, and my interest was in grants and helping a nonprofit and making a difference, and I think I've found the place to do just so.
Well, you got a good person to work with over here.
Absolutely.
And she does a great job. Guys, I appreciate you being here. Hang out with me one second. Thanks a lot. The event September 24th at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Brightway Insurance, the Mays Agency. Spend the money and spend your time, I should say, on your business, not your insurance. Brightway can help explain the type of insurance you need based on your particular line of business, your location, other important factors. They can select different insurance companies to make sure you are getting the perfect coverages and prices to protect your business. For more, visit brightwaymays.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Going to take a break. Center Financier Eric Tarr coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Red, white, and Vroom into summer savings at Thornhill CDJR on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Hey, it's Sydney, and it's time to make this the summer of Ram with up to $8,650 off MSRP on the new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn, or 5.9% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. These deals are as powerful as the trucks themselves. Thornhill CDJR, where adventure begins. It's a Red, white, and Vroom made this the summer of Ram sales event at the all-new Thornhill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit us at Fountain Place Mall, Logan, next to Tractor Supply, or online at thornhillcdjr.com. Number 24C38 for all offers through Stellantis Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
Dreaming of updating your home's interior? Let the expert design team at Nitro Carpet and Design Center bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking to revamp your kitchen or bathroom with new cabinets, countertops, and appliances, or you're interested in transforming your floors with updated carpet, tile, hardwood, or luxury vinyl tile, Nitro Carpet Outlet has everything you need. For sales and installation, visit Nitro Carpet today and see how they can help turn your home into a showstopper that'll impress your friends and family. Conveniently located just off the Cross Lanes exit.
Ready to finance your next ride or refinance your current one? Members Choice WV is ready to help. Right now, during MCWV's limited time auto loan special, you can get rates as low as 3.99% APR with terms of up to 51 months. That's right, rates as low as 3.99% APR with terms up to 51 months on new and used autos and for financing or refinancing. Apply today at memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
It is 9:20, the Dave Allen Show at 580 Live, brought to you part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds wrapping up the regular season down in Gastonia. Now, I just talked to Jill Guerin from the Dirty Birds earlier this morning. They have got to win one more game to make the playoffs, and I think, if I'm correct on this, they have 3 opportunities to do that. If they win tonight, then I'm going to have Jill on the show tomorrow. If not, they have 2 other opportunities. I'll try to have her on Monday. But yeah, they got to win one game in order to make the playoffs. So hopefully they'll get that wrapped up and they can start focusing on next week. For tickets, merchandise, promotions, and more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Coming up on tomorrow's show, it's Friday, which means we'll talk high school football. Chris Lawrence will give us a preview of the Hurricane game. They are going to be playing Parkersburg tomorrow night. Tom Bragg will join us to talk about the Hoover game, and this should be a good one as the Huskies will be taking on Nitro. WCHS radio, of course, and online will have coverage of the Redskins Parkersburg game with Chris Lawrence and Aaron Parker from Parkersburg, while Tom Bragg and Matt Murphy will have the call of the Huskies and Nitro from Nitro. Also tomorrow, Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Keep in mind, there is so much going on in the area this weekend. Saturday afternoon into the evening is the Humane Association's annual Kegs for Canines event at the Red Carpet Lounge. So Hannah and I will get into that. Plus, stay State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate from here in Kanawha County, Mike Pushkin, will be on the show tomorrow as well. And maybe Joe Guerin. If the Birds win this game, 1 of 3, if they win tonight, we're gonna have Joe Guerin on the show tomorrow. I want to welcome into the show now Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr. Senator, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fine, and happy belated birthday. Tuesday was the big day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Another time around the sun, it's a little less younger and dumber. So,
yeah, I guess. Something about us September babies, because mine's coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Well, happy early birthday.
Well, thank you. You can be the first to tell me that. I appreciate that.
I look up to my elders. I
knew that was coming. I got you by 2 years, Senator. I get you by 2. I get you 2. And I think by a couple inches of height, too. Oh, I did that.
Now,
I did that.
We got to be telling the truth on the radio.
All right. Let's get right to it. The governor's plan to cut taxes. Senator, no one wants to pay taxes. You're a business owner. You're an individual. You're a family guy. No one wants to pay. And we've all said that. You and I've mentioned in the past. But, we would all like to be able to have a little bit of a lesser tax burden. But many people, including yourself, and you've been one out there that's really been talking a whole lot about this, are just you're saying that the state is just not in a position to do what the governor wants to do at this point. And without talking way over everyone's heads here, including my own, because this is not really my strong suit as well, Republicans, some Democrats too, the legislature, a great number, not all, but a great number, are just feeling a little bit of an issue here. Explain what the issue is.
And Dave, you know me well, and I definitely want to cut taxes. Who doesn't want to cut taxes? And I think that how we've demonstrated that Republicans want to cut taxes, is we put in a plan to eliminate, not just reduce, but eliminate the personal income tax. So that is a very sophisticated plan when it comes down to it, because that's about a $2.5 billion lift to get rid of the entire personal income tax. So with this 4% trigger coming in, we're going to get it down. It'll be a 25.25% reduction in the personal income tax. So a quarter of it gone. Since 2017, we've eliminated about $1 billion in taxes. So the problem here is that if you get too aggressive, you got to go back and reverse a lot of those things that you did. And so it sounds good to say, hey, we're going to knock out another 5%, another $110, $115 million in taxes. If you go too aggressive too fast, what happens is you have to go back and reverse that policy in order not to put the state upside down for our obligations. Because every time we pass a bill, there's a chance that bill has an expense to it. And so you can go out and look in 5-6 years now. You can even look out 2 years and see that bills we've passed that phase in expenses and phase in taxes, phase in tax reductions. Mm-hmm. The net difference in a couple of years is over $600 million. And so if you go in and you take in another $115 million, $110 million, you can really put us upside down in a situation. We've had those years in West Virginia. We don't want them again. So we are progressively eliminating taxation in West Virginia. Just to say something that sounds good on the way through, if the governor would come in and give us a plan that reduces those liabilities and not just say, hey, if we do this, then maybe it goes away. But hard line, we're taking this liability off the books. It costs this much, so we can reduce taxes for having taken that off. I think you'd find a legislature that's good with that. But right now, we haven't seen that plan.
Talking to Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr, and again, as we said at the beginning of the segment, I think everybody would like to live this, would like to have the elimination of the state income tax, certainly tax reductions. The governor seems to think, and he said this on numerous occasions, and I want to take the governor at his word when he says this, that this is what's going to bring people to West Virginia. I would say I think it wouldn't hurt to bring people to West Virginia, but there's got to be more than just that, because he points to some other states that don't have state income tax. And I agree with him. Yeah, that's great. However, there's other things going on in those areas other than just the state income tax. Would you agree, disagree with that?
Yeah, well, what you're saying is not wrong. And what the governor said is not wrong. But doing another 5% doesn't get you there. Where you really have to get to in order to get feet moving into West Virginia for our taxation policies, a few areas we're not competitive. Personal income tax is still one of those. To be competitive nationally, we need to be at a 50% income tax reduction. So you're talking about a $1.25 billion total to get there on just personal income tax. Okay, so that $1 billion I was talking about, that wasn't just personal income tax. It's taxes in a lot of different areas that we've reduced. A big part of it was personal income tax. So to get there, to get there rapidly, we've tried that a couple times. House voted it down 100-0. So you have to increase sales tax somewhere to offset the personal income tax, which is, in my strategy, a good plan, because about 20% of our sales tax is paid by people who don't live in West Virginia. 100% of our income tax is paid by people who live in West Virginia and work in West Virginia. So there's ways you can get there, but politically they're more challenging than the math. Okay, right. So I do agree with the governor that we need to get there, but the problem is every time you do a personal income tax reduction, until you get to a spot to where we are competitive nationally that will move people to West Virginia for having done it, is that it's more ideologic. Nobody wants to pay. I would rather spend my money and have the government spend it every single day of the week. And so that happens, but it happens in such small fractions that it doesn't produce the economic impact that a tax cut can do. And you don't get that until you're at 50% or greater for West Virginia, because that's where it takes to get competitive nationally.
I got a text last night from a state senator who shall remain nameless, but he knew you were going to be on the show today, and he sent me a text last night, and he said, I am a senator that supports the governor's proposed additional tax cut. If there's money, get it out of Charleston and back into people's pockets.
Well, that goes to what I just said. So if I'd rather spend my own money than have Charleston spend it. The problem is you've got to think long term. If you do that too fast, we're going to be in a situation where you're raising taxes. Because we have, in 2 years, we got a net decrease in revenue available to us by over $600 million. That's from taxes from tax cuts that phase in. So, for instance, eliminating Social Security income tax. We just passed that bill this last year. That phases in over a 3-year period. So it results in a $38 million decrease in personal income tax collections to the state for having eliminated the tax on Social Security. So that's a great thing. I'm happy to see we did that, but that phased in. So that's a net reduction. Then you got expenses that pop in. And those expenses, like Third Grade Success Act, every year it's another $33 million more in expenses that come into that. If you look at Hope Scholarship in 2 years is $200 million more than we're spending. That's an expense. So when you start looking at that, if we go in and reduce the taxes too fast with those liabilities coming onto the books, we won't have the money to pay for those things. So then what happens? Well, then you start looking at two things. Where else can we reduce spending, which there are areas that are also very politically difficult that I would love to see happen, or you got to go back and raise taxes. And when you start raising taxes, we have lost the path to eliminating personal income tax. So for that senator, if you really don't want to pay more taxes, then stick to the plan, because there's a system to get there.
Talking with Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. This is a podcast offering help on things like heart disease, diabetes, and more. Check out the latest episodes on WVMetroNews.com, or the podcast menu, and start your journey towards better health today. You and others, Senator, have said in the past, you've kind of pointed to the governor's senatorial run and saying that this is campaign fodder. Do you still go along with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, think about what's happening right now. There's no fire right now to come into a special session to say, hey, we got to eliminate another 5% on personal income tax or the world's going to fall apart. It wouldn't happen until January anyway. We were already coming in for interims coming in the first week of October, and we usually step our special sessions over top interims so you don't have to pay extra dollars out for everybody coming in Charleston. So to come in and act like this is urgent, to come in and tell the public that there was these conversations over the weekend with the legislative leadership that said, hey, this is the day we need to come in, when we had no discussions. I mean, it makes me wonder why he's saying it. So, and the guy's running for U.S. Senate. So, I would assume it's campaign fodder.
He did announce, as you said, we already had, I guess, the interim schedule for October, but he did announce that the special session will be on September 30th. What do you expect to see from that? Well, one's that we normally have these special sessions throughout the year to handle the business of the state. Because there's things that come up. You have to fund this or that. There's things you might miss, and because we handle $20 billion in spending. And so sometimes you'll pass legislation and you might be $2 or $3 million off here or there, those type of things, and you just miss it. And for instance, like pay raises or type things, because you'll do pay raises in a certain area and then not realize you have two different types of revenue that fund the employees in there. And you might have to come back and, okay, well, hey, there's $400,000 we missed here. We need to run a supplemental to do that. Those type of things of the state. So you have a lot of those type of things that we do in those special sessions. We need to do that.
I think we're probably going to be discussing the governor's tax cut. I mean, that's why he's called us in. So I expect he's probably going to put a bill on there of some sort about this, an idea for a tax reduction. And I hope he comes up with something completely creative. If he can come up with something completely creative and come in and say, here's where we're going to take $110 million, $115 million of liability that is forward-looking off the books so we can swap it out, I think you're going to see us looking at it. But if he does not do that, I think it's the bill's going to be persona non grata, because I think that we understand very well that we have a path to eliminating these taxes, and you can screw it up. It's fragile. So I think that those are things. There may be a couple bills. He's talked about the child care tax credit, those type of things. So where I think there'll be probably some discussions around child care. We've been having a lot of large
there's a desperate need, Senator. I think that you would agree with that. There's a desperate need to do something, or to at least have the conversation about various child care or child welfare issues in the state of West Virginia.
Yeah, I think there's areas where there are. And when I say that, I think there's probably are child care deserts within the state. The ones that are coming out and really calling it a child care crisis are primarily the people who get paid to provide child care. I haven't had a parent come to me yet and say, hey, we got a child care crisis that's come and said that to me. So anytime you want to try to get something done, you try to create emergency. So I don't know. So one of the things that we've been doing is we have a staff of people that are looking at how do we pay for child care, where do we pay it from, what do we get from having paid for it? Because what this is that the federal government has done is they've expanded entitlement to people who are already receiving entitlements that pays more for child care for that. So in the past 4 years, we have spent $240 million more on child care in West Virginia under the guise that it improves workforce participation. Mm-hmm. Our workforce participation has went down in those 4 years. So for having spent another $60 million a year on child care, workforce participation has went down. So to me, it bears looking into that says, okay, what are the other things that affect the access to child care besides throwing money at it? Because it's very apparent throwing money at it hasn't done anything.
Texas Dave, ask Senator Tarr, where had they been getting their money for their budget? Have they been getting any money from the feds?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's not for the budget, not per se. So one of the things that I'm a fan of using a tax dollar for is rebuilding West Virginia's infrastructure, sewer, water, roads, broadband, those type of things, access to those. And so there's a lot of federal match that's out there for these different things. And it might be 1 to 2 all the way to 1 to 9. In other words, we go in and spend $10 and the government will come back and reimburse us 9 of those 10, the federal government. So there's plans out there that are available for us that are time limited. And so it becomes important that when we do have money available to us, you can turn your $1 of tax into another $9 on top of it and go get sewer to your neighborhood or get water to your neighborhood or pave the road in front of your house. So there's some of those things out there. So definitely there's been some federal dollars that we've been able to access because we have been very judicious in our spending in state government by holding 4 flat budgets, by going in and reducing spending in areas that the government shouldn't be spending on, by investing in ourselves on things that will turn money back into the state for having spent $1, like for economic development initiatives, when you land new cores, when you land Berkshires, when you land Timettes, there's those things that that's big money that comes into West Virginia and turn around and reinvest in ourselves. And so then we can take that capital for having done that and then match that federal dollar. And we've been doing that very well in West Virginia. So much so, I think, and I've said it many times on your show, is that the biggest one of the biggest pleasures I've had as serving as a legislator is in my time in service, I have got to see hope in the faces of West Virginians about what is in front of West Virginia. And so, that's a big part of it. It's because we've been handling this right.
Before I let you go, you and I were texting back and forth last week about you on the show, and you said you want to talk about guns.
Yeah.
What's up with guns?
I was actually on the golf course, so I have a few hobbies that I love to do if I can ever get to do them. One of them's golfing, one's hunting. Just shooting guns and cars. Those are the things that really.
That's cars driving, not shooting cars. Right?
You know what? I got a funny story about that. So my dad was called a Chevy killer. So a little bit of both.
Okay, and we'll get into that another time.
Yeah. So, but I was golfing with some buddies, and they said, "Hey, man, quit being such an egghead when you're on Dave's show and talk about guns, cars, or something." And one of these things that we all get to do, talk about and play with out here. So. So that's what that was about.
Okay, I thought you were going to get into some specific gun issues. You just want to talk guns.
Yeah, man.
You need to talk to Chris Lawrence, with the West Virginia Outdoors.
Let's go in and talk about my FN 509 with the Holosun sight on it, and and talk about that stuff.
And you and I'm not a gun guy necessarily. I'm not anti-gun. I'm just not really one of my hobbies. But I will say that I'm a car guy, and I've got to hook you up with my brother-in-law, who's probably listening to the show right now, because he's a fellow Corvette guy too, and I know you've got a vet that you're very very proud of.
I got a vet I've been working on for years, because every time I get the engine rebuilt, I find a way to break it.
Well, we'll get you hooked up with my brother-in-law Robert, and I'll put you on Chris's show, and you can talk guns. How's that?
That sounds good.
Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr, as always, I appreciate you being here, and we're going to take a break. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Bridge Valley. If you're interested in improving your company's IT workforce, know that Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap. You can train for little or no cost, 50-50 salary match available. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. If she's back from assignment, I'm going to introduce you to the newest member of the MetroNews team, but I don't know if she's back in the building yet, because she was covering, there was this concussion breakfast that was going on downtown this morning, and she was covering that. A lot of people, it's obviously a problem, and Eric, I know you, Senator Tarr, you've heard a lot about it.
I was taking phone calls this morning at 6:30, I think it was, this morning about that going on, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's going on, so she was down there covering that. If we get an opportunity, I will have her. Yeah, I see her. She's looking through the glass right now, so she's back in the building. We'll talk to Morgan Pemberton. We come back. Senator Tarr, thanks a lot. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Welcome to Poca Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
Catch all the excitement of high school football this season on the MetroNews TV app. Watch live games every Friday night. Presented by Go-Mart, your hometown convenience store. Level up your cheering game. Head to GoMart.com to win everything you need to become the ultimate fan for your home team. Go for good times. Go for Go-Mart. Bone-jarring hits, spectacular catches, all the touchdowns right on your smart TV or streaming device. Download the MetroNews TV app to watch the voice of West Virginia.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the rock holiday tradition returns. December 5th at 7 p.m., Charleston Coliseum. Tickets on sale Friday, September 13th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefiting WVU Children's Medicine. Soaring guitars, dazzling lasers, and enough pyro to keep you warm all season. Don't miss Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Why is Navage perfect for allergy sufferers? Rhino Systems Medical Director Dr. Howard Levine explains.
If someone's exposed to allergens, they can get rid of those immediately by washing out the nose. Navage works by pulling saline in one nostril, through the nose and out the other nostril, sucking out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs. Experience on-the-spot relief so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier.
Navage is available at Sam's Club, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or online at Navage.com. Navage. Breathe easy.
20 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection and risk assessment services are designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paint, that is, in buildings and other structures, using a three-phase approach of inspection, sampling, and lab analysis, and an assessment report. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Hoppy Kirchwell coming up with Metro News Talk Line at 10:06. The co-founder and CEO of Form Energy is on today's show, talking about Form Energy's getting close to completion of their construction project. They're also about to start production trials. Hoppy with the latest there. State School Board met yesterday. The no longer banned Brad McElhenney. We'll have that story. Also, State School Superintendent Michelle Blatt on the show this morning. There have been some troubling numbers with the Mountain State's kids and attending school school, but there's some signs that may be getting better, and they'll get into that during their interview today. Also, there's some new stats about homeschooling in West Virginia. Hoppy and Superintendent Blatt will get into that. The mayor of Martinsburg, Kevin Knowles, on discussing gun violence. U.S. Attorney Bill Ehlenfeld on the sentencing in the Whitey Bulger case. WVU Pitt backyard brawl in Pittsburgh this weekend. We'll have a preview of that and more on the droughts. Lots to get to with Hoppy coming up at 10:06 on Metro News Talk Line from the Encove Insurance Studios in the Dale Miller Building in Morgantown. Tex says we're fortunate to have Senator Tarr watching our state finances. He's very knowledgeable. Our state is in the best financial shape for a long time. Tex says, I agree 100% with Senator Tarr's take on child care. Throwing more money at it is likely a special interest strategy combined with the liberal West Virginia Chamber of Commerce efforts. Hold the line, says a texter. I'm going to get into some more on the debate with some text I didn't get to yesterday. But first, I want to take time to introduce you to the newest member of the Metro News team. You're going to be hearing a lot of her over the next couple of months, reading her stuff online. And as we start making the transition into bringing the Charleston studios more into the TV age via Metro News TV, you'll be seeing a lot more of her as well. Her name is Morgan Pemberton. Morgan, good morning. Welcome to the team.
Good morning. Thank you.
Tell us about you. Where are you from? Where's home?
I'm originally from Williamstown, West Virginia. Pretty much grew up here in Huntington, West Virginia. My aunt lives there, who I currently live with. I went to Marshall.
Go Herd.
Graduated in April of this year, and really excited to just be here and do what I love to do.
Well, you and another frequent guest of the show, Stephen Allen Adams of Ogden Newspapers, a Williamstown native as well. You expatriates can have a connection here in Charleston. So let me talk about, why did you get into this field? Because, you know, you're a younger person. Seemingly a lot of younger people simply aren't going into my chosen profession for the last 36 years. What was it about the profession in general that interested young Morgan?
I originally wanted to do like PR, and then realized it's not something I wanted to do. So when I got into college, the radio station WMUL really helped me decide that radio was what I want to specifically do with the news and everything. So it was kind of later on in my teen years when I realized that this is something I wanted to do.
What are you most looking forward to in the job? Other than the getting up at 3 a.m. They told you about that, right?
Yep,
they told you that. Okay.
I think just getting out there, doing the stories, anchoring, because like I said, in WMUL, I anchored the 5 o'clock news there for 5 semesters or something like that. So I'm looking forward to that and just continuing learning the job and everything.
Well, you're going to be working with Chris Lawrence in the morning, so you're working with one of the best. And don't tell him I said that, okay? But you're working with the best newscaster in the state of West Virginia, in my opinion. But don't tell him I said that, okay? I have to say, your debut here, Morgan, is a little bit more calm than the last person we brought in, because that was Aaron Parker, and I don't know if you've heard that story or not. He was about to do his introductory interview, and I had Aaron in this very seat that you're in now, and I said to him, all right, Aaron, we're ready to go. During the commercial break, Jeff Jenkins runs in here with the news that on that particular morning, the NBA legend and all-time great mountaineer Jerry West had passed away. Yeah. So basically, we took Aaron and pushed him out of the way and put Jeff in a position. Yep. And so a little bit more calm so far for you today. All right. So in an effort, Morgan, to get to know you, I've prepared a list of questions for you. I need you to answer in rapid-fire fashion. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any pets? If so, what are their names?
No pets.
All right. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
Name a movie or TV show you can practically quote line for line.
Oh, probably Criminal Minds.
Okay. What's your favorite teacher's name in school?
I don't remember half the teachers I had, but
she's a natural for radio.
But probably in college, Christopher Swindell.
Okay, know him well.
So he's
from my hometown.
Really good.
He's actually from my hometown. Name the one musical artist you could drive across country listening to.
Oh gosh, probably Luke Bryan.
Okay, all right. Well, we're not going to hold that against you. What's the one place in the world you've always wanted to visit?
Disney World.
Okay. Do you have a favorite sports team?
No, really. No.
Marshall Thundering Herd.
Sure,
okay.
Marshall.
So I talked about you having to get up when you do. Are you an early bird or a night owl by nature?
I like pertaining to work, I like to get things done early, but if not working, then a night owl.
Okay. What is your final question? What is it that you like so much about West Virginia? Because you're a young person, you're in a field that not a lot of young people are going into. You chose to go into this field and to stay in West Virginia. What is it that you like about West Virginia so much?
I mean, I guess coming from a small town, because Williamstown's a small town, just the community that I was surrounded with, and I kind of want to be that person just to, give people the news and be part of a community that is inviting and stuff like that. Well,
Morgan, we're very blessed to have you here on the team. We appreciate you taking. By the way, I got a text from Stephen Allen Adams. I screwed up royally. He is not from Williamstown. He's from the rival St. Mary's. Yep. I screwed. That would be like in my home county.
Rumble on the River.
Getting Logan and Chapmanville mixed up. I apologize for that. I've known Stephen for like 100 years. I don't know. I somehow had a little brain fog on that. Yeah, he says Williamstown is our rival. We swat bees, is what he says. But he did wish you best of luck anyway. So, all right. Morgan Pemberton, welcome to the team. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. We'll let you go on about because you've already been out working this morning. Yes. So I know you got to go put a story together. So get out of here and go to work. Okay. Welcome to the team, Morgan. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. West Virginia Enriched in collaboration with Huntington invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Take a few moments to be inspired and to join the collective effort in making a difference. Not just a story, it's a movement of hope, inclusivity, and triumph, reminding us all that every individual deserves a chance to shine. In West Virginia and beyond, Huntington truly making a difference right here at home. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580WCHS. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. I cannot believe that I screwed that up. Stephen, I am sorry. I am very, very sorry that I got the two rivals mixed up. I apologize, but it happens. You get to be my age. Stephen, when you're my age, you'll understand. Rib Fest gets underway today. Head at Riverfront Park, powered by Quantum Party Rentals. Of course, we here at WVRC Media are going to be a big part of it. You'll see us down there a lot. Rob Reel from 96.1 KWS will be there, as will Steve Bishop and Matt Murphy from V100. Steve Animal and myself will be there Saturday afternoon, representing 987 The Mountain, Wild and Wonderful Classic Rock. And keep in mind that they are open for lunch today. So if you want to head over there, over to the Boulevard for something different for lunch, 6 nationally known champion ribbers, as they're called, are going to be there today and tomorrow for lunch, 11 till 2, and then they start serving up dinner items from 3 till 10. Saturday foods will be served up from 11 a.m. till 10 p.m., and then on Sunday from 1 till 6. Live music tonight, Josh Pantry and Chase Mitchell. Tomorrow is Motown night with the Legacy Motown Review and local legends, the Esquire. Saturday night is Rock and Roll night with Bent Whiskey and my guys in Hair Supply. Lots of game and stuff to do for the kids, including a carnival. Just going to be, the weather looks good, a little warm, of course, but it looks good. So look for us all down there. I'll be there, as I said, Saturday afternoon with Steve Animal from 987 The Mountain. Rob Reel is down there tonight for the country show at 96.1 KWS. Steve Bishop there tomorrow night for Motown night, and Matt Murphy is there Sunday afternoon. Details available on all of our social media sites, mine, Dave Allen Radio, and Facebook, and also at their website, WVRibfest.com. Also want to mention, as I did earlier, throw it out there again, that Canines, for the Cakes for Canines event at the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association are with them, happening Saturday afternoon and evening at the Red Carpet Lounge. Hannah Gardner and I will discuss that on tomorrow's show. And if you need something else exciting, again, we're monitoring the Dirty Birds. If they win one of their next 3 games, they are in the playoffs. And as I said earlier, if Jill Guerin is going to join us either tomorrow or Monday, I know they'll get 1 out of 3. They got to get 1 out of 3, as best I understand, to make the playoffs. So as soon as we get that win, I'll have Jill Guerin on the show tomorrow as well. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Jute. For the best in security systems for both your home or business, talk to Jute, J-O-O-T of Tays Valley. Visit protectedbyjute.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
When you meet someone for the first time, a beautiful smile is the best first impression. If you desire a beautiful smile, no matter where you are in your dental journey, let Garib Dental Group and their experienced dental professionals help make it a reality. From routine cleanings to complex cosmetic treatment, simple fillings to advanced implant placement, Garib Dental Group is prepared to handle any smile. And with the latest technology conveniently placed at each of their 6 locations, Garib Dental Group is prepared to handle the most complex treatment plans. Visit GaribDentalGroup.com to learn more. We love to see your smile.
Dreaming of updating your home's interior? Let the expert design team at Nitro Carpet and Design Center bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking to revamp your kitchen or bathroom with new cabinets, countertops, and appliances, or you're interested in transforming your floors with updated carpet, tile, hardwood, or luxury vinyl tile, Nitro Carpet Outlet has everything you need. For sales and installation, visit Nitro Carpet today and see how they can help turn your home into a showstopper that'll impress your friends and family. Conveniently located just off the Cross Lanes exit.
Ready to finance your next ride or refinance your current one? Members Choice WV is ready to help. Right now, during MCWV's limited time auto loan special, you can get rates as low as 3.99% APR with terms of up to 51 months. That's right, rates as low as 3.99% APR with terms up to 51 months on new and used autos and for financing or refinancing. Apply today at memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
7 minutes away from 10. Ryan Nicholson, our producer today. Piggly Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor, text 304-935-5008. I've talked a little bit about a text that I got about a week and a half or so ago from one of our loyal texters. I don't know who the people are, just a texter, that said they were having some problems as they like to monitor, I guess, emergency situations on scanner apps or things of that nature. And I was trying to link one with the other with Johnny Rutherford from Metro 911, and we were able to get that straightened out, we thought. And then earlier in the show, I got a text from someone that said, "Sir, it's not just a Broadcastify thing. Multiple platforms are affected. Kanawha County Public Safety has been off for at least 10 days. I use it for work," says a texter, "and it would have been beneficial to know beforehand to know I was rolling into an active crime scene last night at Greenbrier Gardens." I don't have an answer for that. Here's what I do to the texter, though. I actually texted your information during one of the other breaks to Johnny Rutherford at Metro 911, and hopefully, like we did last week, we'll get an answer on the situation to see what the situation is. I think they were kind of under the impression that it was just a Broadcastify situation, but apparently it goes beyond that, according to what this texter is saying. So I've got the info into Metro 911's John Rutherford, so if I get an answer for you, I will certainly let you know. Remember on the show yesterday, I made a comment about Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala Harris following the debate the other night. And a lot of people, and I'm like a lot of people when it comes to celebrities, they have just as much right to give their opinion as anybody else does. My only issue is why should we care more about what Taylor Swift or some football player thinks over the guy who's fixing your car or whatever? I mean, we're all the same. We're all Americans. But I did say that if you don't think that's a big deal, that you're not paying attention to how big Taylor Swift truly is. Got some information sent to me this morning from a friend of mine in D.C., and it says, as you predicted on your show yesterday, Dave, in the first 15 hours after Taylor Swift's post, there were about 338,000 visitors to the website vote.gov. That were referred from the custom URL created and shared by Ms. Swift. The group vote.org also said it saw a 58% spike in engagement around the debate. and Taylor Swift's endorsements. The CEO of Vote.org, Andrea Haley, said in a statement, Swift's impact on voter engagement is undeniable. There have been over 400,000 new voter registration since Taylor Swift's post. Over 400,000 since that post.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
I don't know why that. I don't know where that came from. So the debate reaction continues. My point on the Taylor Swift things is, if you just want to dismiss it and say, well, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it was kind of a big deal. It really was. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month at your favorite Huston's, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie for only $23.99. So debate reaction continues. Some text I didn't get to yesterday. One of the texts referring to Vice President and Democratic nominee Kamala Harris as being my candidate. I got so many texts here, I can't call it the exact text, but basically they said, what about my candidate Kamala Harris? I have stated on this show before, and I'm not part of the news team, so I don't necessarily have to be objective. I don't plan for voting for either Kamala Harris or for Donald Trump. I'm not a fan of either candidate. So that may be wrong-headed, as somebody told me the other day on that. But if I'm not a fan of either candidate, at least I can look myself in the mirror at night and say that I'm not responsible. But either way, come January, whether Donald Trump is the next president of the United States or Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States, that person will be my president. You've heard me say this before. I don't get into this crap. I don't get into all this crap about that's not my president. Yeah, you're a United States citizen. It is your president, whether you like it or not. Whether it's Harris, whether it's Trump, it is your president. Text says, does your butt hurt from all that fence setting? Well, it is what it is. But as far as the thing with the eating the pets, and that we've talked about before,
they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
It's been debunked and debunked. In fact, one social media, I don't know how more you can debunk it. And you can send me all the TikTok videos you want. You can send me clips from city council. The city of Springfield has said it's not happening. Law enforcement have said it. The Republican governor said it isn't happening. I don't know what more you want. Matter of fact, there was the one story about the supposed animal eating that didn't even happen in Springfield. It was actually in Canton, Ohio. The parents of a kid who was killed by a drunk driver by an illegal alien have asked President Trump to please stop using their child as political fodder. That was their words. Final text says, I'm ashamed of the people in my beloved Republican Party for nominating yet again the disaster that is Donald Trump. Horrible decision that has cost us another 4 years, and I am a Republican, says a texter. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton. General Lumber of Winfield for all projects big and small. Shop locally. Visit GeneralHardwareWV.com. High school football previews with Tom Bragg and Chris Lawrence coming up tomorrow. Hannah Gardner will be here, Mike Pushkin as well. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, W243DRFM Charleston, and W283AQ Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.